week we spent about 4 days exploring the beautiful rock formations of Cappadocia.
And exploring the bathroom because I was sick.
TMI, honey, TMI. And then we took an overnight bus to Istanbul, where we flew home for my best friend's wedding and had an amazing, pretty relaxing 5 days at home before we flew back to Istanbul and then rode to the Greek border. So arriving in Cappadocia, we decided to spend one night camping before booking an Airbnb in town for the remaining 3 days. I was really looking forward to seeing the sunrise with the balloons right out of our tent, so like we didn't even have to set an alarm to get up and go somewhere to see them. We could just unzip our tent and bask in the glory of the beautiful balloons at sunrise, which is what Cappadocia is most famous for. So we got a recommendation for a camp spot from another cyclist, and we rode out the afternoon we arrived and set up our tent and then just hung out and waited till the morning. Little did we know, at our campsite we would have the most epic sunset view. It was such an amazing, colorful sunset that night over the rock formations. Really, really cool to see. Such a great first night in Cappadocia. The next morning, we woke up, and it turned out, obviously, because, duh, had I thought about this before, if we have an epic sunset view from our camp spot, we're not going to have an epic sunrise view.
Unless
because we're
you're
facing
on the
wrong
top
way.
of the mountain.
Yeah, but which we were not.
We were at the bottom of the mountain.
Yeah, camped in a grassy, like, little...
We had an epic view of one or two balloons from our tent. And
yeah,
it was good enough.
So we did see a few balloons through the
more.
rock formations. Yeah, we heard a lot more. We probably could have actually gotten out of our tent and, like, hiked just a little bit up and saw a lot more, but we were tired and lazy and we just didn't feel like it. Plus, we had 3 more mornings there. So, yeah, that was a little bit of a bust, but it was still a really nice camp spot. Well, this is a cool town.
I got sick.
The next day.
Yeah. As soon as we left camp and went into town, I was pretty much sick for the next 2-3 days.
Yeah. Until we left for Istanbul,
then
pretty much.
On the way, still in Istanbul, and on the way home, still sick a little bit. Finally getting better after we were home for a while.
So basically, I had to explore Cappadocia all by my lonesome.
And she's not very good being away from me. I take care of too much for her.
He has taken my independent woman away on this trip, and I'm no longer used to carrying all my own things, including wallets, which happened to get lost on a spontaneous ATV ride. Another thing I'm not entirely used to is being a solo female traveling anymore, and there are lots of good things and lots of bad things about being a solo female traveling. One of the good things was I went out one night to see the sunset because I was like, be damned if Justin's going to let me miss out on my Cappadocia experience. This is like one of the attractions that I've been most looking forward to seeing on this trip. So I went out, was just going to hike up to a sunset viewpoint, have dinner, like make myself a little picnic, watch the sunset, and then come back. Really simple, really easy, except when I was sitting up on the rocks watching the beautiful sunset, eating my dinner, this guy on his ATV comes up behind me and he says, "Hey, you want to ride to the top?" And I was actually planning on hiking to the top after I'd finished my dinner. So I said, Sure, why not? That sounds great. It was an ATV trail that I was hiking on, so it wasn't necessarily the safest place for me to be hiking anyway. So he gave me a ride to the top, and I sat at the top and finished my dinner, and he sat on his ATV, and I watched some of the sunset, and then he said, all right, are you ready to go back down? Which I kind of wasn't, but I was like, okay, sure. Like, once again, it's safer for me to ride back down on the ATV than to be hiking on an ATV trail where they come, like, blazing down the trail.
Yeah, where they come along with no sense of people being there.
Right.
No sense of safety at all.
Yeah. So I put the camera in the backpack, grabbed the backpack, and down we went. And I thought we were just going to go back down to the bottom, and that was going to be it. But instead, we went rip-roaring around through the rock formations of Cappadocia. This guy turned out to be an ATV tour guide, so he was, like, really good at driving the ATVs and doing all sorts of crazy shit with them, like putting them up on 2 wheels and all this kind of stuff, which was fun and also very terrifying. And somewhere in the process of us rip-roaring through the Cappadocia rock formations, by the time everything was said and done and the night was over, I had no more wallet in the backpack. So that was fun.
And that's why I carry the wallet.
Yeah.
Because I've never lost it. In many, many years, I have never lost that wallet.
Yeah. So that sucked. Basically, I had put the wallet in the outer pocket of the backpack because I had just bought dinner and was not planning on going on an ATV ride and just forgot where I had put it, that I had put it in some place where it was possible that it could fall out because it wasn't inside of the zipper. And lo and behold, it fell out somewhere. Never to be found. We waited a day. Nobody found it. I told the guy. He wanted us to go look for it that night, but we were like, that's ridiculous. You're never going to find it at night.
Yeah, not a chance.
Yeah, so we walked around a little bit the next day, but it was pretty much gone. I mean, we rode so fast over so much area, and there's so many nooks and crannies in that place. I don't think anybody found it, and if they did, they got, what, like 80 lira or something?
$80 worth of lira.
Yeah. So they got a bunch of lira, but nothing else because we canceled our
credit cards and 2 driver's licenses.
Yeah, well, we canceled our credit cards, so they... Whatever, nothing bad came of it. We just had the annoyance of having to replace credit cards and having to exchange what little euros we had left to be able to have any cash to get ourselves from Cappadocia to Istanbul via the bus. So that was a fun adventure.
We went out and watched the balloons go up at sunrise.
Yeah, I dragged Justin out of bed, his sick self. I said, you will see some of Cappadocia with me.
Yeah,
and
so, we watched sunrise twice.
Yeah, so the first morning we went out to, well, we were going to go to Sunrise Peak.
Right after she lost our wallet, and lo and behold, Sunrise Peak cost something, and we have no money because she lost our wallet.
Yeah. It doesn't cost much. I think they were charging like 3 lira. We didn't realize that it was paid. Lo and behold, we had no money anyway, so we were like, all right, guess we ain't seeing the sunrise from Sunrise Peak. So we just ended up kind of walking around town and finding our own little sunrise balloon viewpoints, and yeah, it ended up being good.
It was fine.
Yeah, it was fine. Saw some balloons.
Yep, the next day we went out again, saw, I counted at most like 120 or 150 balloons. It was quite a bunch.
Yeah, there are so many balloons, and hundreds of balloons go up in Cappadocia every single morning. Like, it's absolutely amazing. So beautiful. The next morning we went up to what I thought was a much better sunrise viewpoint than the actual sunrise viewpoint, because the problem I found with Cappadocia and the balloons is that most of their viewpoints are for watching the balloons and not watching the sunrise, and god dang it, I wanted to see both at the same time. Like, the whole thing was sunrise balloons, right? So I wanted to see the balloons with the sunrise in the background.
She really wanted to go up in the balloons, but at 165 or 100 to $200 a person, we were like, nope.
Yeah, and everything that I'd read in my research, basically people said that watching the balloons in the morning was almost as magical as being in the balloons.
It's 99% of the experience.
Right. So once I read that, we were like, yeah, okay. We'll skip it.
I don't care. Balloons are too expensive.
Yeah, don't care that much. But yeah, this second sunrise viewpoint was amazing. We actually got to see the balloons with the sunrise in the background, hundreds of balloons in the air. It was a really amazing morning. Just really beautiful. I don't think anywhere else in the world has anything like this that happens every day. It's pretty much like a hot air balloon festival every single morning. Crazy and awesome. Leaving Cappadocia, we had to take an overnight bus to Istanbul, unfortunately. Apparently, like, all the bus rides in Turkey are overnight, which is not ideal for us because we don't, well, at least I don't sleep on the bus rides.
Well, it's great for people that have a schedule they have to meet, but it sucks for people that just want to blow a day so they don't have to sleep on the bus.
Yeah. Yeah, so that wasn't so good, and then we arrived in Istanbul to our warm showers host, which was kind of fraught with problems of its own. But regardless, we got on our plane and headed home to the US for my best friend's wedding. And lo and behold, we had 3 flights to get home, and the first 2 of which were both delayed, which caused us to very, very, very narrowly miss our last flight actually to the U.S.
Yeah, we were like 5 minutes late for check-in, so
yeah,
we couldn't
we
get
didn't
on.
Have our boarding pass.
Even though we could get there, we weren't going to be allowed to get on.
Yeah.
But it worked out okay because we ended up getting complimentary business upgrades.
Yeah, so Justin actually, before we knew all of this, because they put us on the next flight 2 hours later on standby. And so now we had 2 more hours to kill in the airport. I was starving, and we had no money with which to buy food because I lost our wallet. Go me. So I was like, crap, what the hell are we going to do? I'm already hangry. Like, this is not going to end well. So I said, hey, Jess, I wonder if we have any business class or business class lounge passes because we have the United Travel credit card. And he was like, I don't think we do, but I'll look. So he looks, and lo and behold, we did have 2 passes that we hadn't used yet. So we booked our asses into the business class lounge and, like, gorged on all the good food for the next, like, 2 hours.
Yeah, and then we got upgraded to business class and got stuffed on the plane
as
well.
And then lo and behold, like Justin said, when we went down there, the lady said, oh, we've upgraded you to business class. And we were like, both of us? And they were like, I think so. And they were like, let me check. And it turned out they had only been able to upgrade one of us. And they were like, oh, you guys have status with us, so, like, let me see what we can do. So we asked them if we could just wait around a little while if another business class seat would become available so that we could both be in business class together. And they said, yeah, just wait like 5 minutes. Lo and behold, 5 minutes later, or less, the lady walks up to us with another business class ticket.
Yeah, here's your complimentary business class rides.
So we both got to fly business class home from London to New York.
Yeah, so the credit cards, the Premier credit cards are worth it sometimes.
Yeah, that was absolutely awesome. It just totally made our travel day so much better. Yeah, so then we got home and we spent 4 amazing, relaxing days just hanging out with family.
Gorging on Italian food from Cara's mom.
Yeah,
Yum.
That's always good. Seeing our parents, my grandparents. And then it was wedding time, and I was a bridesmaid in the wedding, so I spent basically 2 full days full of like wedding prep festivities, rehearsal dinner, all that kind of
yada
girly
yada
stuff.
yada.
Yeah.
I skipped it all.
Yeah, and then Justin met me for the actual wedding. And it
In
was
my
so...
$25 suit.
Yeah, we went to Goodwill because we're on a bike tour. We don't have wedding clothes. I mean, I had my bridesmaid's dress already at my parents' house, but Justin didn't have anything to wear. So we went to the thrift store, our local thrift store, and lo and behold, Justin found a suit that fit him perfectly.
Like it was custom tailor-made.
Yeah, it was crazy. And you found him an awesome smiley face tie, because he always likes to wear funny ties.
Cara didn't think it was awesome, but now it's awesome.
It was awesome, I just didn't think it was appropriate.
It got more awesome as people got more drunk.
It did. That was pretty funny. Yeah, and then I got 2 dresses for like $6. It was awesome. Yeah, so we had a really great time at home. It was literally to the point where like we didn't want to leave because we had such a good time, and we were like, oh, I really don't want to go back to Istanbul. But our flights were booked, so we went anyway. We went back, explored Istanbul for a day, and then headed on to Greece.
So the ride to Greece was not so interesting. We rode along the coast. It was nice to have a tailwind.
Yeah, and just a nice change to have blue water instead of brown grass.
Yeah, there was still a lot of brown grass, but it was blue. It was brown grass next to blue water.
Yeah, so it's infinitely better.
Yeah.